What is up, YouTube? Gonna be training chest and back today. Just some hypertrophy again. So that being said, I'm gonna be starting with supersetting dumbbell press, neutral grip. This is still just feels so much better for me and my shoulders. And when I don't do this now, my shoulders almost feel worse. So it actually helps my shoulders. Whereas before, when I used to be more like over the top, knuckle straight and pressing like wide elbows, fucked up my shoulders. Neutral grip, I get deeper and it makes my shoulders feel better. I can just like feel a stretch and strengthening in that stretch position. Then I'm gonna go flip to the opposite of that. I'm gonna do pull-ups. This is another thing where it's like very skill-based. But doing pull-downs does not make you better at pull-ups. Trust me, I used to be able to pull down the whole machine. I could do like 5 pull-ups maybe. So I'm trying to do those consistently now. Really trying to pull all the way up to the top. Where you get this squeeze right here. Super good for your shoulders to be able to have that full range of motion. So I'm gonna try and move some heavy weight here. My body fat is heavy as fuck on that thing. My fat ass is heavy there, so I don't need to add any weight. And we're gonna have a nice day. It's hot, I'm wearing a long sleeve for no reason. It's a beautiful day. See, I always felt like a douchebag throwing weights in a gym, but in my own gym, I feel cool doing that. So if you see people throwing at your gym, it's not my fault. I don't condone throwing your weights in public gyms. But if you own the weights and no one else is here to get mad at you, it does feel pretty badass to just drop it after a set. Also way easier. I think I have 10 reps. I told myself if I get 10 reps, that's when I'll add a little bit of weight to myself. It's not bad. I exhaust quick on this, but because it's body weight, I feel like I get used to just like doing body weight all the time, and it's always been heavy for me. But like unless I'm changing the stimulus excessively enough for my body to respond differently, like if I was doing sets of 3 to 4 because I had like 50 pounds attached to me, my body would probably progress at this point faster because I've already adapted to what my load is. So I feel like hitting 10 now is at the point where maybe I'll try a couple reps with a little bit of weight next time, and I can drop the weight and keep going. But next time I do these, I'll start when I'm fresh with a little bit of weight. Not gonna drop it on myself this time. Apologies to anyone who has OCD, but in case you can tell, I do not. But yeah, this is my crazy setup. I want to be strong right now, you know, and I don't have the stability that I want to be strong necessarily. So I'm doing 2 pressing movements for the bulk of my chest day, and I added on the weights hanging from bands. People have asked me if they don't have like the earthquake bar, whatever it's called, bamboo bar, then how do they get the same effect? Well, it's easier, it's much easier than that bar, but you can just add bands to the weights like this. It really forces you to stabilize, so the weight doesn't have to go as heavy, but your stabilizing muscles and your shoulders get much healthy, so when you do go heavier, they're more prepared for it. So yeah, that doesn't excuse why it looks so ugly, and I set it up in such a random way, but I did, and it works. So This would suck to drop on myself by accidentally. with the bands and shit at that weight, I'd be toast. The RIP C-bum. These were one of the staples back movements that I loved doing when I was prepping for Olympias. Chest supported dumbbell. It just feels like you can put the chest higher or low to get more like rounding the back, scapular protraction, more lat, upper back, depending how you move your elbows. You can just like squeeze right where you want. It feels great. That little bit of band shake that it gives you is actually so nice, especially when your shoulders aren't like perfect or you're benching, which you haven't in a while. Like if you're really strong at machine press, dumbbell press, it means your pecs are strong, but not in the exact motion and stability that a bench press requires. So sometimes people will move on to this and hurt themselves because they're stronger than their body's able to. Like the weakest link is what gets injured. So doing something like this forces the weight to come down and trains the weakest link. So when you do go heavy, everything is as strong as it needs to be. So give it a shot, especially if you're someone with little bitch shoulders like Henry.
What the fuck? What a stray.
The world's full of strays. I was traveling the other day and I was sitting beside this woman on a plane, which I sat beside her on the way to somewhere and back from somewhere, which was crazy. Coincidence. But she was a very spiritual lady, if you will. We don't know who she is. She shall be unnamed. I don't know who she is either, so I'm not exposing secrets, but she's dabbled in the art of hallucinogenics and plant medicine and all the things that I've always had a deep desire to go try, and I will 100% try one day. And she was talking about like different experiences with all of them. But the one most insane thing that she said she did was a 3-day darkness silence retreat / fast. So you're like in a cave underneath a forest in complete darkness for 72 hours by yourself, speaking to no one, you can't see, in like pitch black, darker than anything you've ever imagined. You can't see your hand in front of your face for 3 days. So you have no senses coming into your brain. And she literally was like, you start to hallucinate by the end, like you are on plant medicine, but you're not actually high. So you're fully, like your complex brain is able to take in everything you're experiencing, but you're hallucinating, but you're sober. So you're like experiencing this insane thing, but your conscious mind is able to actually soak it all in and like remember it. And I talk a lot about the idea of like doing hard things, about hard things are only hard if they're hard for you. And that was like, that would be hard for anyone in any generation at any time, no matter what, because humans are just not meant to do that. But if there's anything that's like as a whole that is hard for our society to do, it would be that. Even just not looking at a screen for 24 hours is hard for people. Imagine looking at nothing and hearing nothing for 3 days and eating nothing. Like that is probably the hardest thing for anyone in our world right now to do, and therefore probably like the most impactful thing someone could do. And it just got me thinking. I was like, if what's hurting our world now is overconsumption, too much information, too much visual stimulus from our phones, just so much more that we shouldn't be able to absorb, what would be the complete opposite end of the spectrum of like crash dieting, if you will? Like you're 400 pounds, okay, well let's just not eat anything for a year. You know, this is like that equivalent. And I feel like if anyone was like at a point in their life where like everything's falling apart and you just needed one thing to do to have a profound change on you, it would be that. And the fact that I'm even talking about it makes me anxious of thinking of doing it. And that's why I feel like called to do it and why it would be so impactful, because that's the point of doing hard shit. That thing where you're like, oh my God, like I couldn't do that. Like people like, what? That's impossible. Like, no, that's the thing that you need to do to grow and to like experience a new version of yourself. So maybe like me wanting to go do plant medicine and stuff is like the cheap, easy way out, because you just take a drug and then you're on your experience. This is like, she was like, it was a battle with my mind for every minute of every day. I'd like hallucinate and feel completely at peace, like enlightened, and all of a sudden I'd be like, I need to get the fuck out of here. Like, what time of day it is? I haven't eaten, I need to get out of here. And you have to just combat your mind, like, no, I'm okay, I'm safe, like, let's just sit through this a little bit longer. And that like tie within your own mind of speaking to yourself, insane. So if anyone listens to this and they've done it or they're gonna do it, tell me how it goes. And I'm still scared to do it, but that's like on my bucket list for the next, before I'm like 50. That's a bitch goal, because I'm scared to do it. I should minimize that goal, but let's say before I'm 40, I would love to do that experience. And oh man, this sounds incredible.
Do you want to do it just because of the difficulty of it, or is there something specific that you want to like learn about yourself or get out of it spiritually?
I feel like both. I feel like they're kind of one and the same. I feel like that experience of sitting with myself quietly with nothing else would like I feel like I have this push and pull of like this desire to know myself, but the reality is like it's more of a understanding of letting go of what I have used to define myself. So I feel like it would like rid my self-seeking desire to find out who I am and just be like, you just are. You know, I feel like it would just give me like a profound answer of stop desiring, stop chasing, stop trying to figure something out, just like let things be, just sit in this moment and see who you really are as you are. And I feel like it would be like a crazy spiritual, enlightened like learning, and it would also be something hard as fuck to do. That would be a fun challenge. Fun is a subjective word. I'm not sure I'd put fun on that. Should probably start with like a camping trip.
A camping trip.
Like, hey, I'm overstimulated. Let me go put myself in solitary confinement and go crazy. Or just like take a trip to the woods, you know? I don't know, man. Crash diets work. Oh. Guess I can't train abs.
Abs are the new legs.
Abs are the new legs. I don't even hate training them. They just hate me training them. You know? They're like, fuck you, Chris. We're going to cramp. Don't do any more ab crunches. Ooh, damn. I can't. I got to persevere, you know? Got to get my summer six pack. P90X.
All I care about this summer is having jacked forearms.
Forearms? You gotta be able to. The people who can do the flips is what's impressive.
Can you flip the 45?
Oh shit! That was like a joke. I didn't think I would do that. I'll probably never do that again. Oh!
That's crazy.
That wasn't bad. Oh yeah, my left hand, no shot.
Oh!
All right, I'm retired. Let's go home. Can't top that. I just peaked at 31. All right, now I'm fired up. I can do abs without cramping. I believe in myself.
That was like the most intense set out of the whole workout. Was after you flipped the plate.
That was pretty fired up, yeah. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was fucking impressive.
It's actually a fake weight. I 3D printed that thing. Weighs 2 pounds. All right, well, I think that's about it on this workout. If I ever disappear completely for 72 hours, I'm in a cave. And if I ever come back and I lost my mind, it's because I was just in a cave for 72 hours. So forgive me, but call me enlightened. But yeah, chest and back. Thank you guys for watching.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave.